Here we go, live from Overton Stadium on the campus of the University School of Jackson. BallGame Blitz Sports Network proudly presents University of Jackson baseball as the Bruins take on Fayette Academy. And this should be an interesting one. Chase Gardner is on the mound for the Bruins, and on the Viking side of the ledger, it is Luke Jenkins who will also hit cleanup. And ladies and gentlemen, here is our national anthem. And as usual, that is the University School of Jackson Chorus as they deliver their always outstanding rendition of the Star-Spangled Banner. Steve Beverly bringing you all the play-by-play this afternoon, and our conditions are absolutely perfect. 71 degrees in the hub city of West Tennessee. The humidity is just like you like it, 29%. You can sit out in this and not feel like you have been in a sauna. That is just the perfect type of humidity. And winds, not going to be much of a factor. Out of the east-southeast at only 5 miles an hour, an occasional gust to about 8, but we're not going to see that play havoc with any of the fly balls to the outfield. For Fayette Academy, batting first, playing second base, Carson Klein. He's a senior. At shortstop, batting second, Jacob Walker. He is a senior. A lot of seniors on this Fayette team. Colton Carson, the catcher, is batting third. Luke Jenkins, the pitcher, will be in the cleanup spot. He is a junior. Hayden Fly, the third baseman, he is a sophomore, and he is hitting fifth. Matthew Kosser, he is a sophomore, batting sixth and playing first base. Ethan McClure is the designated hitter. He is an eighth grader, hitting seventh. He just played in the junior varsity game just a moment ago. Eason Wells, the left fielder, is batting ninth. And Jake Grant, the center fielder, is in the ninth hole. And playing right field but not hitting is Mason Gregorgas. And here stepping in to face Chase Gardner on the mound is Carson Klein, the senior and the second baseman. Getting started a little bit earlier than anticipated, and here we go, and that's a high fly foul out of play. No balls and one strike. Last Monday when we were with you, it was, shall we say, not exactly a pitching duel. 28 runs between the two teams was scored. It was a 3-hour marathon, and I know both these teams are hoping it'll be a better pitching matchup today. The stretch and the pitch is low and outside for a ball and a strike. Nash Kilburn's playing over in right field, and in center is Wyatt Scott, and in left is Kurt Salmons for the Bruins. And the pitch. A bit of a change-up high, and it's 2 balls and a strike. Jacob Walker, the shortstop, will be next. And here comes the 2-1 pitch. And that one's hit hard and goes right through the legs of the third baseman, Corbin Howard. That was a hot shot. So he reaches base and gets things going for the Vikings. And we'll charge that one as a hot shot, but you got to charge that one as an error to the third baseman. And so here goes Jacob Walker, the shortstop, with a man on. He is a senior. And with a man on first, here's the pitch. And went around on that quickly for strike 1. Walker will be followed by Colton Carson, the senior catcher. Getting a good lead over at first base is Klein. And the pitch. And that one's fouled up right behind our press box. So no balls and 2 strikes, and Chase Gardner gets well ahead of the hitter. They're playing at double play depth. And taking his time, trying to get the right sign. And the 0-2. Here it comes. Just a little bit low. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Gardner has good stuff, and if he can mix his pitches well, he can usually stay ahead of these hitters. Here's the wind and the 1-2. And a runner going, and he's going to have to go back. That was fouled just in front of the stands. So we'll recalibrate with a ball and 2 strikes. Overton Stadium looks absolutely perfect today. Got some shadows that are right down the third base line in the infield, but otherwise it can give the outfielders a little bit of a problem here at Sunset. And a quick throw over to first, and he's back. Keeping Klein honest over at first. And Walker steps back in to receive the 1-2. And the pitch. That one's low into the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Runner was not planning to go on that one. He wanted to try to get Walker to chase a bad one outside, but Walker patient enough to hold up. Here's the wind. And the pitch. Runner going, and that is a pop foul. So 2 balls and 2 strikes remaining to Walker. He's had a pretty lengthy at-bat, continuing to foul them off. And let's see what Gardner comes up with in his bag of tricks. And the pitch, and the runner going. He's going to fire to second. And he stole that one on the pitcher, and so he has moved along to second to eliminate the double play possibility. So it's now 3 balls and 2 strikes. He's gone full on Walker. That was a good throw by Max Kilburn, but he had pretty much, he stole that one just literally on the delivery. And here is the payoff, the 3-2. And just low for ball 4. So after getting an 0-2 count, he walks Walker, and that puts runners on first and second. Nobody out, and here comes Colton Carson, the catcher, another one of the many seniors on this ball club. In fact, the majority of the starters are seniors. Carson's got a big opportunity to get this inning open. And you can see the second baseman is dodging up and down. He tries to bunt it, and it goes foul right on over to the dugout of the Bruins. No balls and a strike. Still got force possibilities at any base except home. Gardner taking his time. And here comes the delivery of the 0-1. Going to try to bunt again, but runners were a little bit of bluff and feint trying to execute a double steal, but they both get back. Ball and a strike. And looking down for his signals is Carson. Vikings threatening here with runners on first and second and nobody out, and the pitch. And the bunt is popped up, but it's on a one hop, and it gets away from the first baseman, and that's going to bring home a run. And they're going to keep him on second and third, and that was just one of those. The ball was fired hard, and it got away from the first baseman, and so that is an error. So you don't give him a hit on that one, and nor is it an RBI, but he made his way in. Carson Klein did with the first run of the game. Jacob Walker advances all the way to third. And so a two-base error gives the Vikings a lead, 1-0. Here's Luke Jenkins, the pitcher. He's already been staked to a lead, and he hasn't even tossed one. And the pitch. And a hard hit ball going down just past the dugout. No balls and a strike. So the Bruins have had a tough time on the infield. They've been hot shots, but a couple of errors have paved the way for a run for Fayette Academy here. Gardner with the wind once again, and the pitch. And a high fly ball going to deep left center field, and that's going to still bring in a run on a sacrifice fly. So Jenkins does his job with a sacrifice fly to bring in Jacob Walker with the second run of the game. Give him an RBI. Don't charge him with an at-bat on that. Colton Carson moves over to third. And that brings up the third baseman, the sophomore, Hayden Fly. So you got a runner on third. 2 runs have scored for the Vikings without the benefit of a hit. And the pitch. And that one is going to be a one-hopper. And they're going to go home with it. And he's a dead duck right there. About 4 steps away from home plate. Heads-up play at third by Corbin Howard. That, again, was another hard-hit ball, and he managed to toss him out. So score that 5-2. And that brings up Matthew Kosser. He is the first baseman. He's a sophomore. So now it's down to a man on first. And the pitch right down in there for strike one. So let's see if Gardner can get out of this inning with just the 2 runs and try to get a little bit of return value from his teammates when they come in to hit. Runner's getting a fair lead at first and got him to chase a sinker. No balls and 2 strikes, pardon me. And he steps back in. The designated hitter, Ethan McClure, would be next. He's an 8th grader. And the wind. And the 0-2 pitch. And runner's going for second. It's going to be hard to get him because he had already taken off. So stolen base. Sends Fly to second. So a base hit with any degree of depth would likely bring him in. The 1-2 with 2 out. And a runner now on second. Gardner looks the runner back and delivers. And a bit high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And that's frustrating on any team in the first inning to end up with a couple of errors that were somewhat bang-bang plays because they were hot shots, but that allowed the 2 runs to score. And that one's just inside for ball 3, so now he's gone full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Kosser. And let's see if he can get him with a slow curve or perhaps blow it by him with a fastball. And second baseman trying to head back to the bag. And got him looking for strike 3. So it was 2 runs on no hits, 2 errors, and 1 man left on base. So at the end of a half inning of play, it's Fayette Academy's Vikings 2, the Bruins just now coming into bat.
Tired of going to the dealerships only to see empty spaces? Then come to Carlock Nissan of Jackson. We have over 60 new vehicles in stock and more coming in daily. You can see, feel, and of course smell that new car smell. Save up to $8,600 off MSRP on a new Nissan. Plus, special APR financing as low as 1.9%. It's all at Carlock Nissan of Jackson. You should already be here.
Mention BallGame Blitz Sports Network and receive a free gift.
Bottom half of the first inning from Overton Stadium. Steve Beverly with you live. And at the controls is the lead driver of the trucking company over here, and that happens to be Christopher Reasons, your director this afternoon. Nash Kilburn, the right fielder, the freshman coming up, and he's one who is a threat to get on base virtually every time he's there. He'll find a way. And the Bruins need that to get themselves back into, and that one gets completely away from the catcher. Ball and no strikes. Bruins need that one to slice away at this early 2-0 lead of the Vikings. Kurt Salmons, the left fielder, will be hitting second, and Max Kilburn, the catcher, will be hitting third. And that's 2 balls and no strikes. Danny Giles has shaken up the lineup order a bit here, and you're going to see in the designated hitter slot Jackson Sills today. That one right down in there for strike 1 call. And Max Kilburn is hitting in the third slot today rather than the second. Salmons awaits the 2-1. And that's a slow roller to second base. He's going to have to hurry and get the first baseman to tag it, and that is out number 1. Good play on that one. Here comes Kurt Salmons, the left fielder. Tell you what, even with that slow roller, Nash Kilburn almost beat that one out. He was only about a step and a half away. And the stretch and the pitch is high for a ball. Luke Jenkins has a good curve ball, and he's got good speed with his fastball. And the pitch. High for a ball. 2-0. They got a big gap. If he get that thing up the middle, it'd be a sure base hit. And that one is almost there. It's going to be a one-hopper. Quick throw to first, and they nail him. Shortstop with an excellent play. Jacob Walker getting it on to first. So it's been 2 ground balls and 2 outs, and that brings up Max Kilburn, the catcher. Clennon Harden, the shortstop, is hitting cleanup. And Maddox Raven, the first baseman, will be hitting fifth. Max getting some encouragement from the fans in the stands who they're enjoying this sunshine here in the early evening, and that one's low and away for a ball. This is the perfect time, being right at the 6 o'clock hour, just to enjoy this kind of gorgeous weather. Low for ball 2. Max with nobody on, and the Bruins trailing 2-0. And here's your pitch. Outside for ball 3. And I have a very strong feeling Max will be taking this next pitch all the way. The wind and the 3-0. Just in the outside corner. 3 balls and 1 strike. If Max gets the pitch he likes, he should be going around on this one. There's the wind and the pitch. And that one's going to the first baseman, and he's going to hustle over and touch the bag for out number 3. So it was 3 ground outs. The Bruins had no runs on no hits, no errors, and no one left on base. So at the end of an inning of play, it is Fayette Academy 2, USJ nothing.
Ready for spring cleaning? Don't forget your HVAC system. Somebody needs to clean out all that dust and grime, and that somebody is us. Let McCoy's Heating and Air professionally clean your system so cool air can flow where it needs to go. Schedule now and you can get your cleaning for only $90. Call McCoy's Heating and Air at 731-668-7492 or visit airmccoy.com. McCoy's Heating and Air, Jackson's most trusted team of technicians.
Carlac Prestige is not your typical used car dealer. We have everything from a Porsche to this, and lots more. We inspect and repair all our vehicles. Ask us to prove it. We will.
Carlac Prestige, Van Drive, Jackson.
At Arrington Funeral Directors, we accept all prearranged funerals. So you may have prearranged your funeral in this town with another funeral home or even in another state, but we accept all prearranged funerals because we're here to serve families.
Getting ready to start the second inning here at Overton Stadium, and you'll see the bottom third of the order. Ethan McClure, the designated hitter, the 8th grader. Eason Wells, the senior in left field, and Jake Grant, the center fielder, and also a senior coming into bat. And Bruins had 2 errors in the first inning that allowed 2 runs to score, so none of them were earned runs. So we've technically got a double no-hitter going right here. But the Bruins want to be able to get some offense in their attack going when they get back up into the second. And Chase Gardner taking the last of his wind-up tosses. Sunset is scheduled at 7:24, and so we've got probably another hour and 15 minutes of really good daylight, and you got maybe 10 to 15 minutes more of dusk. So it is the perfect afternoon, early evening to play here in daylight saving time. Here's McClure, the designated hitter. Gardner delivers. And he got him to go around on that one for strike 1. It's unusual that you have an 8th grader hitting in the designated hitter position, but they've got a lot of confidence in him. As I mentioned, he played in the junior varsity game, and there's the one on the outside corner for strike 2. He played in the junior varsity game right before this one, in which the JV Bruins won 7-0. And Gardner winds and delivers. And got him on 3 pitches. They're still going to have to throw to first. Oh, my goodness. He did not get it. It was sort of a casual throw to the first baseman, and so scored a strikeout. But that will be an error on the catcher. So it has been some fielding issues for the Bruins this afternoon. That's one you didn't want to see get away with perfect pitching on the part of Chase Gardner, but a runner on first, and here's the pitch. Right down in there. No, he called it a ball, said it was low for ball one. When that umpire holds up his left hand, then we agree that's a ball. He went after him. It was a close play at first, and we got Eason Wells, the left fielder, a senior, who is up. Jake Grant, the center fielder, another senior, is on deck. Again, let's see if they can pull off a double play here. And the pitch, he faked a bunt. 3 balls and no strikes. So Wells will probably be taking this pitch all the way. We'll see if they send the runner. Right down in there for strike one. Not a doubt in my mind he was going right down the middle. Now I would not be surprised to see the runner take off in this situation with the 3-1 count, because Wells will probably have the green light. And the pitch. High foul out of play. So he's worked it back to 3 balls and 2 strikes. Full count, and let's see if Gardner can get him swinging or get him looking. All right, the 3-2 pitch. And fouled back once again. The runner was indeed taking off, but he's got to make a big, long jaunt back to first. All right, Gardner looks like he's ready. And once again, the 3-2. High fly ball. It's going to stay in the infield. And getting under it is the third baseman, and he snags it for out number 1. Corbin Howard, and that plays some, it really plays some havoc with you when you're going from the sun into the shadows, but he stayed right with that one for out number 1, and that brings up Jake Grant, the center fielder, senior, and then Carson Klein, who is a senior, the leadoff hitter, would be next. But if you get a double play, Klein will have to wait till the 3rd inning. Here's the pitch, and he went around on that one for strike 1. No balls and a strike, runner on first. Let's see if they send him this time. And the pitch. And that one is bending foul down the right field line. Went around on it a bit too quickly. So once again, Gardner has been staying ahead of the hitters. He's got a no ball, 2 strike count. And by all rights, this would have gotten him out of the inning except for the error on the first hitter. And the pitch. Nice little slow curve and just missed. A little bit high. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And I would imagine the runner is going to be moving with this pitch. And struck him out. That's 2 down now, and that is the 3rd strikeout for Chase Gardner. And that brings up for the 2nd time Carson Klein, the second baseman. He reached base on an error on the 3rd baseman in the 1st inning, stole a base, and scored. Gardner pitches, and that one's tapped to the 3rd baseman. A 2-hopper, fires to first, digs it out of the dirt for out number 3. So in that inning, no runs, no hits, 1 error, and 1 man left on base. So at the end of an inning and a half, it is still Fayette Academy 2, USJ nothing.
Fleet Feet your locally owned source for the best shoes for school, work, running, and everyday comfort. They offer a 3D scan of your feet and professional fitting. Fleet Feet sells the top-selling brands Hoka, On Cloud, and Brooks. To add comfort to your spikes or other performance shoes, let Fleet Feet fit you for a pair of arch support inserts. Get the quality you want and the service you deserve at Fleet Feet in Jackson on Oil Well Road beside Walgreens.
At Dynamics Physical Therapy, we help our clients get back to doing what they love. Dynamics is now serving communities throughout West Tennessee.
Well, the error did not hurt the Bruins in the top half of the second, so let's see what they can do in the heart of the order with Clinton Harden, the shortstop, who's batting cleanup. And then Maddox Rabin, the first baseman, and Brooks Jones, the second baseman. And here's Luke Jenkins to deliver, and he went around on that one, and he took a nasty swing. No balls and a strike. He just burned him with speed on that one. And the 0-1. And that one is going to go right to the second baseman. He took about a half step backward on that, and that is out number 1. So the Bruins have not been able to get one out of the infield. And here comes Maddox Rabin, the first baseman. And as we say, he's got all kinds of power. You're not going to get a wind-aided home run today in this game because this one is almost steady right now. It's dropped down to about 3 miles an hour. And that one is low for ball 1. We still don't have a hit in the game, even though the Vikings are on top 2-0. And that one is inside for ball 2. Raven steps back in. Bruins have nobody on, and the pitch. And hits the corner for strike 1. 2 balls and a strike. The wind and the pitch. That's high for ball 3. Now, you got to believe that if Maddox gets the pitch he likes, he's going to have the green light on this one. 3 balls and a strike. And the pitch. And that one's low and inside, and Maddox on base. First base runner for the Bruins with a walk. And that'll bring up Brooks Jones, the second baseman. And Wyatt Scott, the center fielder, would be next. Wyatt's moved down from the number 5 to the number 7 slot. And Maddox Rabin's on first. Jenkins delivers. Went around on that one hard. No balls and a strike. They've got a big gap between first and second. If he had a late swing, that would probably get the runner over to third easily. The pitch, low for ball 1. So it evens it up at 1-1. I hope you had a wonderful day because it was just a great one all throughout West Tennessee today. The pitch, and he went after it again. Ball and 2 strikes to Brooks Jones with Maddox Rabin on first. And we trust all of you had a wonderful Easter Sunday weekend. And the pitch, and went after it for strike 3. That is the first strikeout for Luke Jenkins. And that'll bring up Hondo Wyatt Scott. Center fielder. with a runner on and trying to see if they can get a bit of a rally going. Bruins trailing 2-0 here in the second. And that one's low. Ball and no strikes. If he gets on, Corbin Howard, the third baseman, would be next. Scott awaits the delivery, and he go to throw to first, nowhere close on that one. Maddox was not taking an extraordinarily big lead. And the wind and the pitch, that's high for ball 2. Maddox is taking not a huge lead over at first. And the pitch. And he went around on that one. 2 balls and 1 strike. 2 down. Now this is really anything but what we had a week ago here, in which we had a 28-run marathon. That one's fouled back to the screen. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And that was last Tuesday night when we were here at Overton. All right, Maddox takes his lead, and he's going to be going on this pitch, and that one's low down in the dirt, and Maddox is going to make it on the pass ball. Catcher couldn't dig that one out, so Maddox has moved up into scoring position, and we've got a full count of 3 balls and 2 strikes. And Hondo is taking a little bit of time. Now he'll step back in. And let's see if he can poke one into the outfield and get Maddox home. The wind and the pitch. Low for ball 4, and so they're 2 on now for the Bruins. So 2 walks. Now give an opportunity for Corbin Howard, the third baseman, to see if he can bring at least one of these guys home. Jackson Sills, the designated hitter, would be next. And here comes Jenkins' delivery. And he got the corner. No balls and a strike with 2 out, 2 down, and 2 on. Looking back to the runner on second. And the pitch. And that one gets away, and Maddox is going to make third, and also you're going to see Wyatt Scott move up to second, so both of them are now in scoring position on the pass ball. So a ball and a strike, and so that takes off the force play, obviously, except at first. So now Corbin with an opportunity to tie this game if he can get one to the outfield. And that one's fouled off to the right. A ball and 2 strikes, 2 outs, and runners on second and third. Jenkins has not given up a hit, but if you're a Bruin fan, this would be the perfect time for that to happen. The pitch, and that one goes down into the dirt, and he signals quickly for Maddox to get back to third. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 out, 2 on. It's always neat whenever it works almost perfectly in cohesion with that. And that one's right down in there for strike 3 call. He took that pitch all the way, and that's the second strikeout for Jenkins. So the Bruins could not maneuver anyone home. They had no runs on no hits, no errors, 2 walks, and they had 2 men left on base. So your score remains at the end of 2 innings of play. Vikings 2, Bruins nothing.
Thompson & Smith, the area's premier independent insurance brokerage, has been serving families and businesses in the region through its founding companies since 1927. With their many insurance company partners, Thompson & Smith provides insurance products for family, home and auto, contractors, retailers, restaurants, manufacturers, medical and dental clinics, as well as any other business or organization seeking quality coverage, risk management expertise, and customer-focused service. Call them today to discuss your insurance needs.
Are you looking to build a career? Build a career with West Tennessee's own H&M Company. H&M is a leading coast-to-coast industrial design and construction firm for Fortune 500 companies. Founded in Milan in 1957 and headquartered in Jackson, H&M is actively hiring in all areas of construction and engineering. Visit us at hmcompany.com to start building your career today.
It'll be the shortstop Jacob Walker leading off the top half of the third inning for Fayette Academy. Chase Gardner has pitched a fine game. He struck out 2, actually struck out 3. One of them he caught looking. But unfortunately, some fielding issues allowed 2 runs to score for the Vikings in the first inning of play. And here's the pitch. And low and outside for a ball. His first time up, Walker reached base with a walk and then scored on a sacrifice fly. The pitch. And there's a drive into first base. That's the first hit of the ball game here in the third. So Walker gets on for the second time. Perfect line drive into left field, and that will bring up the catcher, Colton Carlson. Carson reached base on an error in the first inning of play, did not score. Bruins again looking for a double play. And the pitch. And he went around on that one for strike 1. Luke Jenkins, the pitcher, will be next. Jenkins was staked to a 2-0 lead before he ever threw a pitch out on the mound. And there goes the runner, and it's going to go to the pitcher and made the smart move to go to third because there's no way they would have gotten the force at second. So score that one 1-3, and moving up to second is Walker on the fielder's choice. And here comes Jenkins, the pitcher. His first time up, he hit a sacrifice fly to bring home a run. So he is officially 0 for 0 in the game. Runner on second, and the pitch. High for ball 1. Getting right down into the heart of the order again for the Vikings. And he's awaiting the 1-0 pitch. And here comes Gardner's delivery. Well, he licks the runner back a second time. Now he delivers and fires one down into the dirt. 2 balls, no strikes. And you've got Walker over there on second. They'd love to be able to get him trying to stretch it over to third as they did earlier in the game. He looks the runner back in the pitch. And that one's low. 3 balls and no strikes. Hayden Fly, the third baseman, will be next. He reached base on a fielder's choice. His first time up back in the first inning when 6 Vikings went to the plate. Gardner to the wind. And the pitch. Right down in there for strike 1 call. 3 balls and a strike. And those shadows are beginning to crowd the infield grass quite a bit more. And Gardner ready for his 3-1 pitch. And he steps off the rubber. It'll be interesting to see if he tries to go right down the middle on this one. And you've got to believe that Jenkins will have the green light if he sees the pitch he wants. And the runner fakes going to third, and the foul goes off out of play. So we got a full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes with 1 out. and a runner on second. And the Vikings still up 2-0. And here is the wind by Gardner. And the pitch. And a hard hit ball going into left field, and they're going to send the runner home, and he's not going to go because they suddenly realize taking second on the fielder's choice is Jenkins, but got himself a clean base hit, and so Walker has moved to third on the single, and that'll bring up Hayden Fly. 1 out, and now runners in scoring position. As we said, Fly reached base on a fielder's choice. He also stole second his first time up. And we're going to get a pinch runner into the game. So Fly trying to see if he can add to this 2-0 lead with runners on second and third and only 1 out. Bruins would love to be able to get a play at the plate. Or a strikeout would be a good one right now. That one was right down in there for strike one call. Infield is playing in, looking for a play at the plate with a ground ball. And Gardner delivers. And he went around on that one. No balls and 2 strikes. Gardner has struck out 3 so far today, and this would be a big one with 1 out. The wind, and here comes the 0-2. Outside, ball 1. Ball and 2 strikes. Vikings with 2 runs on 2 hits. Gardner taking his time. And here's the 1-2, and that one is going to go right by the shortstop into left field, and that brings home another run, and you've got him now on the corners on first and third. So Fly does his job. And Matthew Kosser, the first baseman, is coming up. Jacob Walker came in on that single. And Luke Jickens moved over to third. Actually, it's the pinch runner who is over at third. So it's a 3-0 game. Vikings with only 3 hits, but they've made the most of what they've been able to bunch together. And so here is the pitch to Kosser, and he bunts it. And they are going to try to go home with it, and they've got him in a rundown. And they're coming back, and they got him. They did get the runner at, and they're going to go to try to get him at second, and good job of base running. It was a gamble, but heads up, they have moved the runners to second and third. But it was an outstanding play to get the runner in a rundown at the plate, and so now you've got Kosser, and you score that a fielder's choice that got him all the way to second, and the same thing for Fly. So they have another big threat going, but there's 2 out. Runners on second and third. Heads up play by the Bruins infield. And here's the pitch. Fouled back out of play. No balls and a strike. 2 away now for the designated hitter, Ethan McClure. He struck out his first time up. And if they can get out of this jam with just 1 run scoring, and maybe they can crank the engine when they come into the plate. And the pitch. Went around on that one again. No balls and 2 strikes, 2 out, 2 on. And McClure will await the 0-2. And we'll see if he tries to get him just a little bit outside and get him to chase one. Gardner delivers. High fly ball, and the catcher is going after it. And he snags it. Has to go to his knee, but Outstanding play by Max Kilburn. And that ends it. So the Bruins got out of a big jam on that one, giving up only 1 run on 3 hits, no errors, and 2 men left on base. So our score at the end of 2.5 innings, the Vikings 3, the Bruins nothing.
Turn to the experts. Since 1955, Garrett Plumbing and Heating has been the leader in plumbing, heating, and air conditioning service and installation for West Tennessee. A proud supporter of USJ Bruin Athletics, we are your local Carrier Factory authorized dealer. Call Garrett Plumbing and Heating, 668-3339, for all of your plumbing, heating, and air needs.
For anyone contemplating pre-planning, we can tell you from our experience, it's much easier to make funeral plans and record them now than wait until emotions are running at their highest.
With pre-planning, you can free your mind and heart from having to make big decisions during a time of grief and instead enjoy the freedom to focus on the memories of a life well lived.
Well, let's see if the Bruins can get a rally started. Here comes the designated hitter, Jackson Sills, in the bottom half of the third, as Fayette Academy has been staked to a 3-0 lead, but it was a good job of pitching to hold them to only a single run in the third inning. So the bottom of the third starts out, and that one hits the inside corner for strike 1. Sills often plays in the outfield, but he's going the designated hitter route today, and Gardner is not hitting. And that one is going to be a slow tap in front of the plate. Let's see if they can get him. And they drop the ball. And so it is, we're going to give him a clean base hit on that. So get Sills a base hit on that one. That one was an absolute bang-bang play. But it was not one of those that you frankly could charge an error to them. So first base hit of the inning for the Bruins and first base hit of the game. And here comes Nash Kilburn, the right fielder. He grounded out his first time up. And the pitch. And pops that bunt foul. So Sills has to jog back to first base. Well, it's good to see the Bruins finally get somebody on with a hit. And you'll take an infield hit no matter what it is. Kilburn, the right fielder. And he's one of these that he's a good ground ball hitter, can get it to the outfield. And the pitch, and that one's inside into the dirt, and they hit him, actually hit his ankle. That's about the third time in our telecast that Nash has taken a hit by pitch ball, and that sends Sills down to second. So now the Bruins have something seriously going with Kurt Salmons coming in. He grounded out his first time up, but now he's got 2 on with nobody out. Let's see how Jenkins digs his way out of one. And the pitch. That's inside for a ball. Looked like he was going for a bunt on that one to advance those runners into scoring position. 1 ball, no strikes. And here comes Jenkins' delivery. And a high pop foul on the bunt. They can't get over there to it. Catcher made a good chase. Went over into the Bruins dugout. Ball and a strike. And that's got a few fans getting a little bit of energy into it now with 2 runners on and nobody out. Salmons awaits the 1-1. Going for the bunt again, and he was, let's see if did he rule he was hit or did it hit the bat? No, I think he say it's hit by the pitch ball. So we have got 2 hit batsmen in a row. And Sills goes down to third. Bases loaded. Nobody out and only one hit, so it's time for a meeting of the mound. We don't have a sponsor that we say it's the call to the bullpen because they're not going to take him out here right now, but they're trying to settle him down after, and the umpire's going out to adjourn the meeting. They're going to try to settle Jenkins down after, and he has only given up the one hit, and it was an infield hit, but he's hit 2 batters in a row, and that's got him in all kinds of trouble. And here comes Max Kilburn, the catcher, with the bases loaded. Max popped out to first base his first time up. Now he's got an opportunity to bring in some people. And Jenkins is going to be working from the stretch on this one. And that one is low and outside for a ball. No place to put him. Max, a very patient hitter, and that one's low for ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Bruins with only one hit. That was an infield hit, but you'll take them any way you get them. They've got them loaded on 2 hit batsmen along with that infield hit. And the pitch. And got the corner. 2 balls and 1 strike. And you might have heard a few editorial comments disagreeing with the umpire, but he wins always. Taking his time on the mound. Now he gets his sign and the pitch. Way outside, ball 3. Now Max may be taking this one all the way just to see if he can navigate a bases-loaded walk. But he may have the green light if he sees the pitch he likes. And here's the pitch. High, ball 4, and the Bruins have brought one in. And give Max a run batted in on that bases-loaded walk. That brings in Jackson Sills. And Clennon Harden, the shortstop, is up, and the base is still loaded with nobody out. The wind and the pitch, and that one's fouled off. Boy, those bases on balls or hit batsmen will get you every time, particularly if it happens with nobody out. Bruins only have 1 hit, but they are threatening big time now with 3 on. And he steps out of the batter's box. Jenkins took a little bit too much time. The wind and the pitch. And it's a ball and a strike. Nobody out. Maddox Rabin would be next. That one's high for ball 2. I don't think the Bruin faithful would complain about another bases-loaded walk. And the pitch. And he was going for the downs on that one. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Maddox Rabin will follow. Maddox walked his first time up. Here's the pitch. And got him swinging for out number 1. So that is the 3rd strikeout for Luke Jenkins. And that brings up Maddox Rabin, the first baseman. He is the 6th Bruin to hit in this inning. And this is, if you get some power on this one, this is where you'd love to see it happen. And the pitch. Inside for ball 1. Maddox walked and advanced on 2 pass balls, but couldn't get in to score back in the 2nd inning. And that one's high for ball 2. So it's already 2-0. And again, reminding you, only 1 out and the bases loaded for the Bruins. The wind and the pitch. Low again for 3-0. And the catcher's going to come out and talk to Jenkins and make sure they are on the same wavelength for this 3-0 pitch upcoming, because the one thing you don't want to have happen is have one, if you're a Viking fan, is to have one to get away from the catcher and suddenly you get a free pass on ball 4. And he trots back to the plate. So here you go. Kilburn is on third. Another Kilburn is on first. And right down in there for strike 1 call. Three and 1. Expect Maddox to go after that one. Is going to get away, and that brings home another run. So a bases loaded walk for Maddox Rabin. Give him an RBI, and here comes Brooks Jones. Nash Kilburn came in on that one. So Salmons, Max Kilburn, and Maddox Rabin are on base. 2 runs on only 1 hit for the Bruins, but they are making the most of this threat. They've had 2 hit batsmen and 2 walks and a single in this inning. And Brooks Jones, the second baseman, with the bases still loaded and 1 out. The pitch, way outside, ball 1. Seeing some wildness in Jenkins here in this inning that we didn't see in the first 2. He winds and delivers. Inside for ball 2. He just had a hard time finding the plate here in this 3rd inning. Jones waits on the 2-0. And the delivery. High again, 3-0. If he misses here, we are all tied up. Let's see if he tries to go right down the middle with it. The pitch. No, it's low for ball 4, and we got a brand new ball game. So Brooks Jones gets credit for an RBI with his bases loaded walk. Bases still loaded, still only 1 out. Wyatt Hondo Scott, he walked his first time up. And he is now the 8th Bruin to hit. And they're coming out to talk to the pitcher because this has been a tough inning for him with 3 walks, a single, and 2 hit batsmen. And let's see if they're going to take him out. Yeah, they are. Well, Jenkins is going to come out. Let's take a 60-second break, and we'll be right back to tell you about the new pitcher.
King Jewelers is not your typical run-of-the-mill jewelry store. Grover is a certified jeweler with 35 years experience. This isn't just a jewelry store. It's an iconic symbol of love. How far would you go for love? King Jewelers, 16B Conrad Drive, Jackson.
Ready for spring cleaning? Don't forget your HVAC system. Somebody needs to clean out all that dust and grime, and that somebody is us. Let McCoy's Heating and Air professionally clean your system so cool air can flow where it needs to go. Schedule now and you can get your cleaning for only $90. Call McCoy's Heating and Air at 731-668-7492 or visit airmccoy.com. McCoy's Heating and Air, Jackson's most trusted team of technicians.
Well, your new pitcher for Fayette Academy is Jordan Walker. He is a freshman, so you can close the book on Luke Jenkins, who had 2 strong innings, and then it all unraveled here in the 3rd, even though he has only given up 1 hit. But he just was all over the place, not able to find the plate in the 3rd inning, and has given up 3 runs, and the bases still loaded. He hit 2 batters. He walked 3 in that inning and gave up a hit. He ends with 3 strikeouts, and in the game, He walked 5, hit 2 batters, and as we say, gave up the 1 single, which was an infield single. So let's see what the freshman is going to be able to do as Hondo Wyatt Scott steps in. He is the 8th Bruin to hit in the inning. He walked his first time up. And you can hear some fans yelling for Hondo to deliver here with the bases loaded. But we got a brand new game at 3-3. And the catcher steps back in behind the plate, and here comes Hondo. Runners take their leads. Not a big lead at third. And the pitch. And he goes after one big time and missed it for strike 1. Corbin Howard, the third baseman, would be next. And if he gets up, the Bruins will have batted around in this third inning. All right, the freshman delivers. Low for ball 1. And again, no place to put Wyatt Scott. Ball and a strike. And the pitch. Fouled off to the right. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1 out. And the bases loaded for USJ. Those shadows moving back a bit more. We still got about another 35 minutes before sunset. And here's your pitch. And a high fly ball that is going to go to shallow right field, and the right fielder picks it up and makes a big throw. Now he's going to try to come home, and he slides. And he's safe. He slid in under the throw. Excellent job of base running, although it was, I got to tell you, it was a close one because that ball got away when it went to the infield, but manages to slide home and come in, and the Bruins have taken the lead at 4-3. So the sacrifice fly brings him home, and here comes Corbin Howard. Runners are at second and third. And Corbin taps that one foul. That caroms back up onto the area behind home plate. So this has been a rather amazing inning, a rather unorthodox inning, the way the Bruins have been able to bunch these together and score 4 runs on only 1 hit. Here's the pitch. Low down into the dirt, a ball and a strike, and he's going to not really have a conversation with Walker. The freshman just wants to try to get out of this inning. Ball and a strike, and there you go. A line drive that goes to, and it's going past the shortstop for a base hit, and another run comes in, and the runners are on the corners. So Corbin Howard with only the second hit of the game for the Bruins, and he brings in Maddox Rabin, and that makes it a 5-3 game. And here comes Jackson Sills, the designated hitter, and so he is now the 10th Bruin to bat in this inning. He opened it up with a base hit that was an infield hit. And the pitch. And a hard hit ball into left field. That's going to bring in another run, and here comes a runner moving around from first to third. And he's going to move up to second on the throw. And Jackson Sills delivers a run-scoring single, moving to second on the throw. So he has brought in Brooks Jones. And the Bruins are now up 5-3. They have really put an inning together. And still runners on second and third. The wind and the pitch. Right down in there for strike one call. Nash is, of course, the lefty. He was hit by a pitch ball, and he scored on a bases-loaded walk earlier in this inning, so he is the 11th Bruin to hit. And there's a big drive into right field, and that may bring home two more. And it indeed is. And Nash is going into second, sliding in with a double. Bruins up 7-3. Boy, he timed that pitch perfectly and smacked it into right field and brought home two more runs. So it has been a tough one here for Jordan. Walker has really struggled here after it looked like he might be able to get somebody down late in the inning, but here we go again with two out, and a lot of these, in fact, the last three runs have been scored after two were out. 8-3 lead, Bruins. And here's Kurt Salmons, number 12 to hit in this inning. Runner on second, and the pitch, high and outside for ball one. I thought for a minute Nash might wind up with a triple because that ball was really driving. There's a high fly ball into middle center field, and the right fielder comes over and takes that one for out number 3. But the Bruins made some things happen. They picked up 8 runs, and believe it or not, on only 4 hits, an assorted number of walks and hit batsmen, no errors, and 1 man left on base. So here we are at the end of 3. It's a different ball game. Your Bruins 8 and the Vikings 3.
Football looks fun. I bet I would have been great at it. The first football playing deer, they would have made a movie about me and everything. Probably get Kurt Russell to play me. But alas, me and my dreams run right over again.
For fast, reliable collision repair, trust the experts at Mitchell's Body Shop. And get back out there.
We offer live webcasting for families. It kind of came out of when so many warriors were going overseas to war. We have learned to offer families more choices, that we want to serve our families well and serve our families better.
Well, the ballpark looks like the old soap opera, The Edge of Night, right now, because you got sunset coming up in about 25 minutes or so. And the Bruin fans are extraordinarily happy now because they just were treated to an 8-run inning in which 12 Bruins stepped up to the plate. And Chase Gardner has to feel quite a bit better. He has only allowed 3 runs in the game, but some of those came in. All of them are unearned runs on the basis of errors. So let's see if he delivers with more confidence. And there's a high fly ball deep left field, and that's going back to the screen. But they're going to hold him to a stand-up double. No, he's going to slide in on it. Thought it was going to be a stand-up double, but Eason Wells, the left fielder, leads off with a double. Jake Grant, the center fielder, another senior, and he struck out his first time up. And we've got a pinch runner coming in for Wells. So here's the pitch to Grant with a runner on second. And he lines one high fly ball into right field and under it and takes it. And the runner is going to easily advance to third, so score that a sacrifice fly as Wells moves over to third. And coming up for his third at bat is Carson Klein, the second baseman. Klein reached base on an error and scored in the first inning, and then he grounded out in the second. He's got a runner down at third. And the pitch. And that's going to get away, and that's going to bring home the run. Could not get the throw back. Tried to do a little dipsy-doodle toss back to the catcher, but there was no way that was going to happen actually to the pitcher. So he scores on the pass ball. So make it run number 4 for the Vikings, but still an 8-4 game, and the bases are cleared. And a ball and no strikes. And the pitch. And that one is going to be foul. Didn't quite stay on the line before it passed the bag, so got a ball and a strike and an out. Klein will be followed by the shortstop, Jacob Walker, who's been on base twice. And the pitch. And little lazy fly. Center fielder's not going to have to step far at all, and Wyatt Scott steps under it for out number 2. And here comes the shortstop, Jacob Walker. He walked and scored in the first inning on a sacrifice fly, and then he singled and then scored on a single in the third inning of play. And the pitch. Inside and a bit low. 1 ball and no strikes. But Gardner has scattered 4 hits in this game and has frankly pitched a much better game than the 4 runs would indicate. And went around on that one. He had a ripple. A ball and a strike. If he gets on, the catcher Colton Carson would be next. Here's your 1-1. And that one is, they're going to chase after that one. Catcher under it and nabs it for out number 3. Good job of staying with that one by Max Kilburn. So at the end of 3.5, well, in the top half of the 4th, it was 1 run on 1 hit. That was the double by Eason Wells. No errors and no one left on base. And so at the end of 3.5 innings, we're halfway through, and the Bruins on top, 8-4.
Buying a home is a major milestone, and at the Bank of Jackson, we want to help you achieve it. Our mortgage specialists can assist you with conventional, VA, FHA, or construction loans, as well as USDA and THDA development loans. Serving the Jackson area for 25 years. The Bank of Jackson, your down-home community bank. You belong here. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Dynamics Physical Therapy, your elite provider in sports medicine and performance. Now serving communities throughout West Tennessee.
We encourage you to go by and tell our fine sponsors how much you appreciate them supporting Bruin baseball and all of the USJ athletics here on the Ballpark Blitz Sports Network, actually the BallGame Blitz Sports Network, and Worthy Road Studios. We really appreciate all of them for their great support of athletics all throughout West Tennessee, but especially right here at USJ. Stepping in, the catcher, Max Kilburn, and he walked and scored on a sacrifice fly. He actually had an RBI with his bases loaded walk, and he opens up the 4th. Jordan Walker is staying in to pitch, and that one's outside for ball 1. Pitcher of record in this game for the Vikings would be Luke Jenkins. Max, a very patient, deliberate hitter at the plate. And that one hits the corner for strike one. Bruins 8 runs on 4 hits, but boy, did they put together a batch with all the hit batsmen and walks they had in the third inning. And that's a high fly ball, and it looks like the second baseman's under it and takes it for out number 1. Glennon Harden, the shortstop, comes up next. He has flied out to the second baseman and struck out. Tell you, if Gardner holds this one together, he can thank that third inning alone for the Bruins. And almost hit him. Had to duck away from that. A ball and no strikes. But the Bruins sent a dozen to the plate back in the third. And the pitch. And that one sliced foul out of play. Ball and a strike. Temperature is dipped down now with the sun getting close to setting here. Temperature's dipped down to about 69 here in the Hub City. And that one's going to be a deep drive to right field, but the right fielder is under it and takes it for out number 2. He tried to give that one a good ride, but just not enough on it, and you don't have enough wind that could blow one out of here. Here's Maddox Raven, the first baseman, who has walked twice. He had an RBI with his bases loaded walk in the third inning, and he scored in that inning as well. So let's see how Maddox delivers here. And that one hit the inside corner for strike 1. Nobody on, 2 outs, and a strike. And the pitch. And that's a high fly foul out of play. So he's quickly ahead of Maddox Raven. No balls and 2 strikes. If Maddox does get on, Brooks Jones would be next. And the wind and the pitch, and that one got him looking. Just hit the inside corner for out number 3. So in the fourth, it was no runs, no hits, no errors, and no one left on base. But the Bruins are still well ahead in this one. It's 8-4 as we go to the 5th.
The most important benefit when you buy from Jones Chevrolet at Three-Way? Peace of mind. Jones Chevrolet's Warranty Forever comes with every qualifying new and pre-owned vehicle. Powertrain coverage for as long as you own your vehicle. Find out more at Jones Chevrolet in Three-Way.
Home furnishings, appliances, bedding, and so much more. Kaufman's. At the Bypass and Oil Well Road in Jackson. Home furnishings for every room in your home. Custom upholstery options too, with professional advice. Major appliances from America's top name brands. Mattresses and bedding accessories. Outdoor living and grilling too. And our fully stocked warehouse helps prevent supply chain delays. Kaufman's, for your life.
Getting ready to start the top half of the 5th at Overton Stadium. Steve Beverly here on the BallGame Blitz Sports Network. And stepping in to hit will be Colton Carson, the catcher. He reached base on an error in the first inning and grounded out in the third. So this game has picked up some steam after that lengthy third inning of play. And Chase Gardner has settled down after having some struggles early and has done a good job of holding him up. That one's fouled out of play. Max gave it a look, and you could tell that he knew it was hopeless to try to go after that one. So it's no balls and 1 strike. Fans enjoying this out here tonight because it is so comfortable. And the pitch. That one gets away. Ball and a strike. Luke Jenkins is still in the game, and he will continue to hit in the cleanup slot. And the pitch. Boy, he had a good fastball on that one, and he sliced that one foul. That looks like it's going over there all the way to a a grill. Ball and 2 strikes. Chase just seems like he's picked up his confidence now that he's got this 4-run lead. The wind and the pitch. Got away from him. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Hayden Fly, the third baseman, is up third in this inning. And Gardner delivers. And got him on a beautiful changeup. So that is the 4th strikeout now for Chase Gardner. And here is Luke Jenkins, who started the game as a pitcher and had 2 really good innings against the Bruins, but then it all just unraveled in that 3rd inning where the Bruins sent 12 men to the plate and scored 8 runs. And that one just nips the corner for strike 1. And Chase delivers again. A little low, ball and a strike. Jenkins hit a sacrifice fly to bring home a run in the 1st inning. He singled back in the 3rd. So this is his 3rd trip to the plate. And he went around on that one big time. A ball and 2 strikes. He was looking at left center field, but it was nothing but air. And here's the wind and the pitch. Just missed outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Getting his sign and delivers. Outside, ball 3. So he's gone full on Jenkins. He'd love to be able to get him here because you don't want to see them start another rally. So Gardner with the wind and the pitch went down in the dirt. So walked him on 6 pitches. And that's going to bring in Hayden Fly, the sophomore 3rd baseman. Fly reached first on a fielder's choice and stole a base in the 1st inning. And then he singled. It was an RBI single in the 3rd. So he's definitely a threat. Let's see if they decide to send Jenkins. Pitch. Had that floater that just stayed a bit high, a ball and no strikes. Matthew Kosser, the 1st baseman, will be next. That one's low. 2 balls and no strikes. Got that runner on first. And the pitch. Outside, ball 3. So he's seen a little bit of wildness here in this inning. Trying to hang on to that 4-run lead. And the Vikings doing whatever they can to try to bunch some together and get back into this one. And the pitch. High and inside, ball 4, so that's 2 straight that he's put on the base paths. So Fly and Jenkins are there at 1st and 2nd, and here comes Kosser, the 1st baseman. And they're coming out the mound to talk to Gardner to be sure that he's okay. All right, they're going to come back and leave him in. Kosser was caught looking in the 1st inning, and he reached 2nd on a fielder's choice. in the third. So he's 0 for 2. And now runners on first and second for the Vikings. And here's the pitch. Got him on the outside corner. Ball and a strike. Pardon me, no balls and 1 strike. 1 out and 2 on. Takes a faint look back to the runner at second. And the pitch. That was going to get away from the catcher, and both runners are going to advance. So score that one a pass ball. So now they are in scoring position, trailing by 4 and a 1-1 count with 1 out. So Kosser has an opportunity here. And the pitch. And he went around on that one. A ball and 2 strikes. This would be a big time if you're a Bruin fan for the 5th strikeout by Gardner. Takes his time making sure he gets the right sign. And the pitch. And that one just tipped foul back to the screen. Just managed to get a piece of that one, so it's still a ball and 2 strikes. And we'll recalibrate once again. Runners taking their leads at second and third. You can guarantee if there's another pass ball, they are going to be headed. And stepping out of that batter's box, Kosser felt like he took a little bit too much time on the mound, and so here we go again. And the 1-2. And that one clearly outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Tried to get him to chase one. All right, here's a big one. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch. High fly ball to center field. He's going way back. And he caught it over his shoulder. The sacrifice fly brings in a run, but that was a terrific job by Wyatt Scott because he had to run about a half mile to get there. Sacrifice fly to the center fielder. And fly moves over to third. So it's an 8-5 game, but that was an excellent over-the-shoulder catch by Wyatt Scott. So here we go. They're on second and third. And the pitch. Right down in there for strike 1 call. Well, we thought he caught the ball in center field, and apparently they say no. So there's still only 1 out. There's a strike. No balls and 2 strikes. It looked to our vantage point up here, and mind you, we're way up here a long, long way from, we're probably about 380 feet from the center fielder. It looked like an over-the-shoulder catch, but apparently he did not. So he ended up, because we only thought there was only going to be 1 man on base, but instead you got him on second and third. And here's the pitch. Down into the dirt. Ball and 2 strikes. Runners on second and third. The wind and the pitch. A little high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. taking his time on this one with the 2-2 and only one out. And the Vikings threatening. Into the dirt. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Gardner has gone full. And Vikings are threatening to get really back into this one. They can put him on first with a walk. The wind and the pitch. Got him looking for strike 3. That is the 5th strikeout as Eason Wells goes down, and that brings up, now here comes Wells to the plate. That was Ethan McClure who went down. Now this is Eason Wells, the left fielder, with 2 down and runners at second and third. And the pitch, outside, ball 1. And the key thing for Chase Gardner is to hold them to this 1 run in the inning. Vikings 5 runs on 5 hits. Bruins 8 runs on only 4 hits. Right down in there for a strike 1 call. Ball and a strike. 5 strikeouts on the evening for Gardner. And we are right at sunset at this moment. And the pitch. He went around on that one, and that was a wicked curveball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1 and 2 and 2 out. And let's see if Wells gets the green light. Gets real quiet for this pitch. And a lazy fly ball, and there's like about 5 guys converging, but the pitcher comes up with it for out number 3. So a good job of getting out of the jam for Chase Gardner. So they picked up 1 more run. And take a look at my totals here. They picked up 1 more run on 1 more hit. And actually, there were 2 hits in that inning because of that one that we thought was a caught ball. No errors and 2 men left on base. So the score at the end of 4.5 innings, it is Fayette Academy 5, USJ 8.
Are you looking to build a career? Build a career with West Tennessee's own H&M Company. H&M is a leading coast-to-coast industrial design and construction firm for Fortune 500 companies. Founded in Milan in 1957 and headquartered in Jackson, H&M is actively hiring in all areas of construction and engineering. Visit us at hmcompany.com to start building your career today.
Championship DNA. That's what you find at Jones Chevrolet at Three-Way. A full line of new Chevrolets plus West Tennessee's largest used car inventory. State-of-the-art service work and pre-approved auto loans online at JonesChevroletHumboldt.com. Shop with a winner. Jones Chevrolet at Three-Way.
Downtown is thriving and the Blacksmith Restaurant is leading the pack. From the rustic dining room to the unmatched patio, eating local with family is what we're about. Live local, eat local, relax local.
The freshman Jordan Walker back on the mound in relief. And he will face Brooks Jones, Wyatt Scott, and Corbin Howard here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. And Bruins would love to be able to get some insurance runs here in the 5th. The Vikings have put single runs together in the last 3 innings. One after that one for strike 1. Brooks struck out his first time out, but he walked and scored in the 3rd inning. That one's a little low and outside, a ball and a strike. Scott, Howard, and for the Bruins, hopefully Sills would be up. He went after one that was outside. That's 2 strikes. And the wind, nope, he's going to step out of the batter's box. Walker took a little bit too much time, and now he's back in. And the pitch. Outside. Nobody on, so no harm. Ball and 2 strikes. Brooks was part of that. Boy, that one almost dipped, and in fact it did for strike 3. So that is strikeout number 2 for Jordan Walker. And here comes Hondo Scott. He walked in the 2nd inning, and he hit a sacrifice fly to bring in a run in the 3rd, and so technically he hasn't had a plate appearance. That first pitch was on the outside corner for strike 1. Tell you, this little freshman has been pitching with more confidence here in the last couple of innings. And the wind and the pitch. And got it on the corner. Ball and 2 strikes. Walker has done a better job of finding the corners here in the last 2 innings. He winds and pitches. And that one's a high bouncer. That's going to be a hard play, and they're not going to get him at first base. Give him a clean infield hit. That one was one of those that just sailed high beyond the pitcher. No way the shortstop was going to be able to snag that one and get Wyatt Scott at first base. So Bruins start to try to get another one going here with Corbin Howard coming to the plate, the 3rd baseman. He was caught looking in the 2nd, but in the 3rd with that 8-run rally, he singled in a run in that inning. And they go down to 2nd and got him. Wyatt tried to get a jump on the pitcher, but the catcher made a perfect throw, and they nailed him for out number 2. So bases cleared now with a ball and no strikes for Howard. It was a hard one outside. He's got good speed on his fastball. And the pitch outside. That one gets away from the catcher. 2 balls and a strike. If Corbin gets on, Jackson Sills, the designated hitter, would be next. And he's had 2 singles. Both of them were in the 3rd inning. And that one's high. So he walks him on 4 pitches. And here comes Jackson Sills, and he has delivered quite well tonight. Singled and scored twice. And the pitch. There's a drive that is going back to the center fielder who's chasing it. And he snags it with a basket catch for out number 3. So for the Bruins, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. So at the end of 5 innings, it is Bruins 8, Vikings 5.
This could be a true story. On October 3rd, a 2003 hatchback struck and killed a deer that goes by the name Buck. I know, right? He now has Buck's head proudly displayed on his living room wall. He tells a different story.
Shot it.
No, he didn't.
And to hide his lie, he took his car to Mitchell's body shop.
No, I didn't.
Yes, he did. And lucky for him, they made it look good as new. And as for Buck, the story continues.
Do you want your smile to say it all? At Elite Dental Care, we'll make you and your family feel comfortable and secure with a variety of services and state-of-the-art care. We offer sedation dentistry that will make your time in the dental chair comfortable and relaxed. Come by and see our newly renovated and expanded office in Jackson or one of our other convenient locations in Trenton or Dyersburg. Trust your smile with Elite Dental Care and let your smile say it all.
Bruins hanging on to this 8-5 lead. All of them came in the third inning. So up first here in the top half of the sixth inning, you got the center fielder, Jake Grant. And the pitch. Just inside for ball one. You'd have Carson Klein and Jacob Walker following Grant. That one's a bit high. 2 balls and no strikes. Want to try to avoid getting those bases on balls here in the sixth and in the seventh inning. And the pitch. High, ball 3. Bruins scored 8 runs on only 4 hits in the third inning of play. And he walked him. That brings up Carson Klein, the second baseman. It's his 4th time up. He reached base on an error in the first inning and scored, grounded out, and flied out. And that's going to be all for Chase Gardner, but he gets a big hand. He went 5 innings, and he held the Vikings to 5 hits. And you could tell really in the previous inning, he was beginning to get tired, but it's like any other pitcher. You just want to be able to hang in there one more inning. So we'll be back after the call to the mound. We'll be back to tell you about the new pitcher in 60 seconds.
Are you looking to build a career? Build a career with West Tennessee's own H&M Company. H&M is a leading coast-to-coast industrial design and construction firm for Fortune 500 companies. Founded in Milan in 1957 and headquartered in Jackson, H&M is actively hiring in all areas of construction and engineering. Visit us at hmcompany.com to start building your career today.
Ready for spring cleaning? Don't forget your HVAC system. Somebody needs to clean out all that dust and grime, and that somebody is us. Let McCoy's Heating and Air professionally clean your system so cool air can flow where it needs to go. Schedule now and you can get your cleaning for only $90. Call McCoy's Heating and Air at 731-668-7492 or visit airmccoy.com. McCoy's Heating and Air, Jackson's most trusted team of technicians.
And it's Berkeley Pettigrew who steps to the mound in relief of Chase Gardner. He'll have 1 runner on and nobody out. And he would stand to get the save if he can hang in there for these 2 innings and be able to hold off the Vikings. And getting set to check in is the leadoff hitter, Carson Klein, with his teammate Jake Grant over at first base. Klein 1 for 3 in tonight's game. And Pettigrew gets ready to deliver his first pitch. Bit high, ball 1. Kilburn has to stand up to snag it. Looking the runner back to first base, and the pitch. And that one is a hard hit ball into center field. Shortstop tried to make a stab at that one, and it just went by him. Hard line drive, and that is a base hit that will move Grant over to second. So Bruins facing a bit of a jam here in the top half of the sixth in an 8-5 game. Nobody out and 2 runners on first and second. And it's the shortstop, Jacob Walker. High for ball 1. Walker has scored twice. He's walked and singled and flied out. So 1 for 2 in tonight's game. 5 runs on 6 hits now for the Vikings. And the pitch by Pettigrew. And that could be a double play, except it's going to be a hard one. They're going to have to go to first. And got him. You can see the first base coach was trying to negotiate on that one, but it didn't work. That was a tough play, but it was an excellent one. As Corbin Howard tossed to first with a firing throw, and so that was a big one. It does move the runners up, though, to second and third on the fielder's choice. And this is the catcher, Colton Carson. And the pitch. And a high fly ball. That's probably going to score a run. Well, it's going to drop for a base hit. And he makes it all the way to second on the throw, so it's an 8-6 game. That's a base hit, and he goes to second on the throw. Klein moves over to third, and Jake Grant comes home. So an RBI for Carson. And we got us an 8-6 game with runners at second and third. So a base hit could tie this game. The wind and the pitch. That was a beautiful curve for strike one. 1 man out. They'd love to be able to get a play at the plate on a ground ball. Jenkins awaits the pitch. Same place, strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes. Jenkins was the starting pitcher for Fayette.